Christmas 2025 outdoor light setup, aside from the icicles, part 1. So I've already emptied this other box. This only has a power thingy in it, which we're going to need. And it has one string of DEL lights. And that's it. It's already been used. Otherwise, this was all the icicles. And actually, it's going to start to fill back up because I'm going to put all these extra icicles back in there. I have a bunch of extra icicles, the clips, and so forth. And we're going to put all that back in there now. I have a ridiculous amount of extra icicles. I don't even think this is all of them. But I think it's good to have matching spares, especially since we don't know how much longer they're going to be available. All that stuff, we're done with that. That can go away for the rest of the season. The only thing that's left here on the bench is a couple strings of very short sections of C9s. So let's assess what's in this other box here. I want to test some of these lights as well. I'm going to start with this one. Okay, that's definitely not going to work because this is clearly missing. There's a breach here in the wiring. Well, if that's all that's wrong with this, we should be able to fairly easily fix that. It looks like I might have attempted to fix it at one point because the wires are stripped back. So I wonder if maybe it just came undone. Let's see. Let's reconnect this and see if it powers on. Let me get a cord out so we can bring the electricity to in front of where the camera is. There's the electricity. Just plug this in right here. There's our tripod kick for the video. Always need to have one of those. Alright, let's see if this is working. It's working. It's not working very well. There's a bunch of bulbs out, but it's usable. So we just need to put a little wire connector over that break, wherever that break was. And then this is good to go back out. Here it is. Let's see if I have a small wire connector that will work for that size wire. In the drawer of miscellaneous stuff over here. I don't know if this will fit on there. This might be too big, but we'll try it. Good enough. Alright, so that's usable. This I'm sure is working. I can't fathom it wouldn't be. these are the tops of these like C20 lights here. I won't put these on until these are out in place because these bulbs, they got all scratched up in years past from kicking around while connected. So I'll try to make that not any worse. These were a little problematic last year. I had to fix a bunch of these throughout the year. I think one of them kept going out. So let's see what we got here. These are incandescent, so at least they can be repaired. Okay, that seems to be working. Next. Okay, this is not working. Yeah, I recall these being problematic. Now, it seemed like there was a loose connection because they were kind of flashing on and off. This bulb is blackened, so that might be the wrong voltage or something. Okay. Well, this needs repairs. Set that aside for now. I think we'll probably just relamp that set because there's obviously something wrong with it that's lasting. There was something wrong with it last year as well. Okay, so we're 50-50 on these. This one's not working either. And that's annoying because I put these away and they were working. So why is it that they break in storage? It just doesn't make any sense. Set those aside for repair. And these are working. Okay. These are mini lights and can be temperamental, so let's see if these work. Okay, these are not working. They're flaky, now they're working. There's a bulb out in this one here. And there's a bulb out in this one. So these needs a little bit of service. I'm going to set these aside as well. These need some bulb changes. Not a big deal. I think this goes in the kitchen window. And I think this also went in the kitchen window. We need that very soon. These actually are also known to be somewhat troublesome. I'm just going to say we're going to need to replace one or two bulbs and set those aside for now. Okay, so we've got a bunch of C9s that are frosted or painted or opaque. I think we just got to figure out what term we want to use and stick with it. I think we're going to stick with painted. We've got some mini lights. So there's a combination of these colored mini lights that go around the fence in the backyard. I think it's a set of two 300s and then maybe one 100 and 150 or something convoluted like that. So these, hopefully these are all connected still, and I'll have to keep playing that game in terms of which ones go where. Well, this actually has that more green color to it, so maybe this color started last year. I had said in the video earlier in the week that they changed colors this year, but it looks like they changed colors maybe last year. Alright, so that's working fully. And this is working fully as well. I don't see any bulbs burned out. These look like strings of 100, and I have no idea where these were used. Probably in the landscaping by the stairs, I guess. All right, so do we have any white ones? I was very particular about how I put everything away last year, so everything should come out of the box pretty easily. And that's been the case thus far, but definitely don't want to speak too soon. Alright, so we have... Are these strings of 100 or 300? This one is a 72 watts. So that's a string of 300. And what is this one? $72. So this is two strings of 100 or 300 here. These are going to go, if they work, these will go on the, I forget what it's called, in the corner by the hosta garden. Mountain laurel. They'll go on the mountain laurel bush. And there's part of the mountain laurel bush. Okay, that's working. Where's the other plug? Okay, that looks to be working in totality. Even though, actually no, it's not working in totality, is it? No, there's a section out. Okay. This is going to need some spare bulbs. But none of that was in the frame. That's so typical. Oh well, I have no cameraman, so just kind of do the best I can here. Remember, this is a no-budget production. Okay, so this string looks okay. It's the other string that's got some problems. Alright, that one's good. Okay, so the beginning portion of this is out. It's probably because there are multiple bulbs that are shattered, which I'd be willing to bet was a squirrel situation. Because for some reason the squirrels like to chew on the lights. I don't know what berry or something looks like lights. I really can't fathom it, but we got a bunch of broken bulbs here. So what we can do to see if this is the problem is we can just kind of bend all the filaments together to create some kind of a contact. And let's see if it comes on now. I don't know if I'm really making a good connection there or not. Nope. Alright, well let's replace those bulbs in case we're just not making good connection, because that's very likely the case. So we'll have to replace the bases, but we can use these bulbs from the icicles because it's the same wattage. It's the higher efficiency. I guess it's a 0.2 watt bulb. This can be a real pain to get these out when they shatter like this. Okay, there's one. Two. Three. Okay, so we'll take these out of here. Okay, 3 new bulbs. Let's put these in and see what we get. Nope, there's another one here. Another busted bulb. Okay, now let's see if it works. It works. Alright, that was a simple repair. Let's check for any other burnt out bulbs, since clearly this string was subject to some abuse at some point. Nope, it looks fine. Alright, so there's two good working strings of white 300, and we'll see how far that gets us. I think I'm going to need one more for what I want to do with this. Gosh. Okay. So I want to wrap the trunks with these lights. So I'm going to try to close this up a little bit. I should probably be doing this with it turned on in case something is loose. As I said with the icicles, this isn't as big of a deal because I can reach this from the ground, but I still don't want to be playing with these lights in the middle of the season when they're outside and something breaks. So let's plug these in and make sure that they're not going to break during the first windstorm, because we get plenty of wind around here, unfortunately. Alright, so now with this wrapped up like this, we can kind of wrap it around the trunk a little bit easier. Now we don't want to take the lights outside until we are ready to do lights to tree, because they're going to freeze. It's very cold out tonight. They'll get stiff and very difficult to work with in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to go outside now, and I'm going to run an extension cord over there, and I got to turn the street light on in the front, and we'll get ready to actually work on it. And then once we're ready to work on it, then we will put the we'll bring the lights out string by string. All right, here's where we're going to start. And of course there has to be a freak show as soon as I come out here to record. So this is kind of a weird tree. It's got two trunks that lean over. It's not even growing straight. So I think what we'll do is we'll put the lights. I got two strings of lights. We'll run one each up each trunk, and we'll disperse what remains into the top. And then chances are good that we're going to need a third string to finish the top. Over the summer, I trimmed that tree above it, the evergreen above it there, so that there's a distinction between the two. So now we should be able to put lights all over the top of it, and it looked decent. In years past, it's just looked kind of crummy because the two trees just like morphed together, and it's not the way it should be. Hopefully this audio is still clear. I don't really know how good the range is on this thing in this environment. It's quite possible that the audio has been clipping out because I went too far away from the camera. Hopefully not. All right, let's reposition this a little bit closer. Okay, good. The wrapping of this trunk is going to be a pain because this is in the way. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. I might have to change our method here to only wrapping one trunk, perhaps. Now you want to balance wrapping it pretty tight, but not to the point where you're going to damage the tree's bark. These are not the most durable trees out there, but they're not super delicate either. Well, this is using up way more lights than I was expecting it to. I guess it's a good thing we did the strings of 300. I almost used strings of 100. Let me readjust the exposure here so this looks better. Okay, that's better. This tree is a little bit thicker than I thought it was. Almost burned through the entire string of 300 already. Good grief. Well, we definitely have to open some more boxes of 300 for the sure. Hopefully I have them. I don't even know. I don't even think I have them because I don't think I stocked up on strings of white 300 last year. Well, that got part way up the one side. I'm not sure how much further we should try to go. The other side's going to be somewhat of a nightmare with this thing in the way. Well, I can kind of move it out of the way. So we'll have to, I guess, go up this one here. This is going to use a lot more lights than I thought. It's going to look pretty cool, but it's a lot of lights. Well, I was going to go to Lowe's tonight anyways to pick up a couple decorations from there. I guess I can stop at the Home Depot and grab some more incandescent lights. Probably just buy another 2 strings or so. We don't have the budget to be just buying lights like crazy this year, so kind of have to work with what we got on hand. Okay, so I'm going to wind up this other string the way I did the other one. I should have brought the camera in for this. This is long enough of a procedure. And I'm going to plug it in as well because if it's going to break, I'd rather it break now so that I know about it as opposed to breaking, once I'm halfway through the process and then it's a drag to undo what was done. And these aren't that expensive. It's the stupid DELs I hope aren't all broken this year, because those are, I think this year, some of the DEL lights seem to be even more expensive than I recall them being in the past, which is disappointing because a lot of them still don't look very good. If they were getting much better quality, then that's one thing, but a lot of the ones on the display are flickering away and have the typical cold LED colors that don't look like Christmas to me. All right, I got this one all ready to go. We'll have to take a break and look inside, see what I have. There's a chance I bought some more. I want to check before we go get anything else. It's hard to believe that's 300 lights. It sure doesn't look like it. All right, let's see what kind of games we got to play here with this. I don't really want this to break off.
So we're not gonna force it too much, but it does have to kind of get out of the way a little bit. That we can break off. Well, we're getting it, but this is ridiculous. See, this is the kind of nonsense that most people don't realize goes on behind the scenes. I've never filmed this with such detail before. But this is the kind of stuff I have to put up with sometimes. Alright, that's good enough.
This is already so stiff from the cold, I can't get it to move around the branch anymore by itself. But it's not windy, so I think I'll be okay working out in this temperature. All right, let's go inside and see what we can find. Another tripod kick. So the lights, if they exist, are going to be in that gateway box. Box! I can shout it, it's not that late at night yet. So let me see if we can get over to that. It's going to take a little bit of moving stuff around here, but it's all on wheels, so it moves easy enough. This is too tall. Remember that, the lighted candle? I liked that last year. Alright, that should... This really is an excellent storage system. Highly recommend it for anybody working with a lot of equipment in a tight space. The tree stand, I got to get that out too. Well, everything's got to come out, duh. I've got a couple extra strings of C9s from the year I bought all the ones from for the tree there. Icicle lights. Twinkling icicles. We got a lot of icicles here. And here's a bunch of extra stock. So unfortunately, it looks like this is mostly more icicles. See, this was an issue that arose last year with these heavy-duty, high-density things. Because I couldn't use these side by side with the other ones because they are different. So it looks like this is all C9s here. These are white. There are some opaque ones here which we're going to need. So I'm going to get these out. We're going to need a couple more strings of these this year. So I'm going to get those out while we're here, because we're going to put some lights around the windows this year on the front of the house. So we'll need a couple more strings of these. I don't think we have any. I didn't really think that we did, so I'm not particularly surprised. I don't remember buying any extras of those. Yeah, these are all C9s in here. Okay. All right, that's disappointing, but not particularly surprising. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that they would be anywhere else. I think that's it. If they're not there, we don't have them. Which I didn't think we did. So, confirmed. We don't have them. Okay, that's fine. We'll just have to go. We'll have to go get some more. Is that copyright? I don't think so, because I've had that on here before. This telephone needs new battery. It took a dive during that conversation pretty quick. So I have to remember to replace the battery in this. The only gripe I have with these waterproof phones, which I've been using these for probably 15 years now, these things chew through batteries like crazy. And I don't know why, because the regular handsets, I mean, some of them have my original set from 2008. Some of them still have the original batteries. Meanwhile, this one, I probably replaced the battery twice a year in it. I don't know why it's like that. But anyways, so I need to replace the battery, and I can't find any of these lights. So that whole operation here gets a 0. Let's put out something else in the time being. I don't know how many strings these are going to take this year because I pruned everything. So it tends to change every year because the bushes grow and they require more lights. Then I prune them and they require less lights. These over here are pruned down about halfway. So we're definitely going to need less lights over here. But these, I pruned them, but not necessarily to make them smaller. So these might require even more lights than last year. I'm not sure. This one, I'm going to take a guess and say we're going to need 3 to 4 strings. And we are going to load these up because we're not on the same limitation we were last year in terms of electricity. Now we're cutting the electricity consumption in half. And the point of doing that is to cut costs, not to add more lights, although adding more lights is a nice benefit to that. So we got to be careful to not overdo it and then, literally add twice the lights and not save any money. I did these front bushes in the translucent colors the first couple of years, and I switched to the painted last year, and I like it so much better. Nothing like these old painted lights. These are a tangled disaster for some reason. These are definitely cheap. They're chipping, the paint's chipping and everything, but I think these cost $3 at the end of the year. I mean, you can't beat it if you get 2 or 3 years out of them. And no complaints. All right. Now these are these bushes are delicate with the bark, so we want to make sure we don't wrap it too tight. Now last year, it kind of started this wind pattern, windy weather, and the display kept getting wrecked. So this year I'm going to try to secure everything to the trees a little bit better. This tree is full of buds, which is kind of concerning. The weather this year was so screwed up. It was so cold in August, which is usually a hot month, and then it warmed back up in September. It's like everything thought it was time to hibernate, and then it thought it was time to bloom. So hopefully these trees don't get all screwed up. I must have pulled these out of the box in the wrong order because this is so screwed up, and it shouldn't be. I put it away very particularly last year. There's no reason for this nonsense. What is that, coyotes? It's kind of a freaky sound. It makes me want to go inside. You also can't wrap this too tight because you need to have space for the lights to move when the branches move in the wind.
stick still. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I think they're gonna stay there forever.
Yeah, we might make it with one more. I gotta get the stick. I don't know what it is with these people blasting phone calls in the cars. Just talk on the phone at home. It's ridiculous. Okay, where is the stick? I think it fell earlier. Is this it here? No, it doesn't. Fell earlier today. Oh yeah, it was that. That's kind of convenient. Yep, and now something else just fell. This landline phone cord is all caught up here. It's not good. We need that now because the battery in the other phone is no good. Okay, I got the stick, which is just like a busted up rake handle or something. Maybe it's a replacement rake handle. It doesn't look busted. It's just got a little hook on here and then it works perfectly. Oh, it looks so good, even just the little parts of it up so far. There's nothing like the old painted C9s. No DEL can come close. Right, yeah, they can come close, but they can't surpass or even match, really. All right, that's hanging a little bit too low there, but that's too high. So what are we gonna do to fix this? Do that. Okay. Yeah, I definitely took these out of the box in the wrong order because this should not be like this. This string has also lost all flexibility. This string is frozen. I'm a little cold, but not too bad because it's not windy. Stupid wind makes all the difference. Yeah, we're going to do this in 3. 4 would be too much, so we'll just stick with the 3. The other one I think is going to take potentially 8. That one is huge. I wish these were the same size, but they never will because they're different varieties. This one is white, and the white ones, I forget what the reasoning is, that they're not natural or something. I don't know, whatever the reasoning is, the white ones don't grow as strong as the purple ones do. So the other one's purple and it's much bigger. This is a pretty good fit. Oh no. Seriously? The hook somehow went around the entire light and is now stuck. You've got to be kidding. How on earth does that happen by itself? Oh, that pulled too far. This did not hook on the right spot here. Where does this need to hook? It's pretty reasonable like that. That's not part of the tree. That's part of our problem there. All right, that's pretty good. Content with that. Now move on to the next one. That's copyright. That's copyright music in that car. Copyright, copyright. Okay. Now I gotta go get some more lights. And my neighbor must have turned on his wood stove because we're getting a haze in the air. This is unfortunate that these are so tangled. I don't know why this happened.
I think I must have pulled from the bottom somehow and just turned everything upside down, because there's no way that these should be this tangled. I mean, this is awful. This is the worst it's ever been in terms of tangling, and I was very careful with the way I put it back, so I guess I undid it wrong. Man, this is terrible. We lost one bulb. This is the most tangled I've ever had the lights get. Maybe next year I should wrap each one in a wire tie or something, so I don't know. We need to avoid this next year because this is not good. Puts a lot of wear on the filaments to be shaking them around like this. There's no reason for this. I mean, this is like every single piece is all knotted up for some reason. Wow, this is bad. This is very bad. Look at this. Wow. I never had them get like this before. Never. Holy cow, this is like a 15-way mess right here. This is so bad, I'm almost going to just cancel out the string and take the bulbs as spares if this doesn't loosen up anymore. Alright, there we go. Okay, so this we decorate backwards on the bottom. We start with the receptacle at the bottom, and then we try to plug it in the middle. And if we can get away with 6 strings, then we just have, this is great, we just have one wire with multiple plugs. Just busted up glass everywhere. I think after I do this tree, we're going to take a break for dinner, and then we'll go to the store, and then we'll see where we're at that point. I'm getting to the point where I got to go inside and warm up soon. It's getting cold out here. Well, it's been cold, but now I'm starting to get cold. Well, these little chutes kind of come in handy. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I didn't move the camera. That's terrible. There goes that stinking train again. It's constant with that thing. I should have left these inside. These are frozen solid.
And it's going to make this tangling issue much worse. Yeah, I think I have to tie each individual string up next year. But this hasn't happened in the past, so I don't know why this year in particular this is so bad. Didn't really do anything differently. I don't think that the 6 strings is going to be enough. Not at the rate that this is going at this level, because the higher up you go, the faster they get used up. And they're already getting used up really quick. So we might have to go to 8 or 9 on this one, I think. Which is fine. If we need more, I've got plenty in that gateway box. Can't shout it anymore, it's getting late. Yeah, we're already onto the 3rd string here. And we're not that far up. And these two came apart reasonably well. It's still a little bit more tangled than usual, though. But that wasn't nearly as bad. I think I'm going to skip this branch. It tapers off pretty quick anyways, and it's just going to add a misshape to the whole thing. Alright, so this is ending right here, which is not an ideal place because there's not a good spot to... Oh, I guess I'll just have to plug it in there. It's not what I would have preferred, but sometimes that's a little difficult to control. There, we got a couple bulbs that are out, and one is busted and missing. That one just blew out. Let's make sure that's loose. Sometimes that can blow the fuse if the filament shorts inside there improperly. That one too. Okay, so we'll have to come out with some spare bulbs. Not a big deal. All right, so now we will start going up. Well, it's going to be close. We might be able to do it with sex. It's going to be very close. We'll see. And then we're going in because my hands are getting cold. It helps if you're doing it while they're on because then you get a little bit of the heat on your hands from the lights. It's not much when you're combating these frigid temperatures, but it's a little bit. All right, so I'm going to clip this onto the wire of the other string. There's going to be a couple extra bulbs right in this area, but it's fine. If it doesn't look right, we can always just unscrew one of them to switch it off. So that barely completed one rotation of lights. One level, whatever you want to call it. One row. So, let's see. With that in mind, what are we going to need? So we're going to have to pass by 1, 2, I think we might need a 4th string, which is fine. If we do, we do. We'll get it out and use it. I'm not going to skimp on the lights. There's no reason to. I've got plenty of these strings. Plenty in stock. Actually, I think I bought, I'm pretty sure I bought 100 of them. Oh, it wasn't last year. I think it was the year before last year because they go on sale for $2 and change at Lowe's, and they sold out at the local store, but they ship it for free. So I just ordered 300 of them, or 100 of them, and it cost about $300, and it was an exceptional deal. I wish the Home Depot discounted that rate as well because those things fade so quickly, but unfortunately the Home Depot does not discount them that much. Okay, so this is on the top.
This string it's got a repair on it with some wire connectors. I'd rather not use that here. Use that somewhere else where it's less obvious. Go put this one in the back. Okay, so we've got this one. Yeah, I think I was removing them wrong because these two came out generally just fine. So that might have been a user error situation there. All right, got two more. Looking at it from this angle, let's see. We might just make it, I'm not sure. It's going to be very close. Good, stupid camera's still working. I hate this camera, but there are some good things about it, such as it films Christmas lights very well, and it can take the microphones, and it has the pause recording feature, so I can kind of like live edit it, which is super handy, because I'm not one for editing, but if there's something I know is going to take some time or some blank space, and I can just push pause and resume the recording when I'm done, that I can deal with. It's the sitting on the computer or doing that manually I can't deal with.
Alright, this is the last string I can connect. We're connecting 3 end to end, which is fine electrically, not fine according to the box. But the box is wrong. I think that we're gonna make it, because it does get narrow kind of quick. That's pretty good. Another string would have been a little bit too much. All right, we're gonna pause there. I'm gonna go to the store and then maybe we'll come back and try to finish the mini lights on that tree behind us. Just got back from the store. I picked up 3 strings of 300 mini incandescent lights and almost crashed multiple times. The quality of the other drivers on the road was way below average, which is pretty scary because the average is not great to begin with. Alright, so let's get these opened up here. I think we'll probably use 2 of the strings. And these are packaged a little bit annoyingly because there's a million wire ties around everything. But these are kind of handy to have, so it's not too bad. But it is excessive. It's very, very cold out now. I think it's below freezing, so we'll just do there's 1 or 2 strings on that tree, and we'll call it on the outside lights for tonight. We didn't make a lot of progress today, but that's okay. I did some stuff inside that was well worth doing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, make sure it works. This is interesting. The plug is like tied in a knot around the receptacle there. Okay, good. It's all working right out of the box as it should be. And I always check it because it's not a given. I'm going to coil these up so I can wrap them around the base of the tree. I'll give them a quick jostling around and make sure there's nothing loose. Okay, let's go. I'll come back inside and grab the second string later because if I take it outside now, it's just going to freeze. Alright, let me get it connected. And I want to get started right away before the lights freeze and before I freeze. Turn on the power bar. That's quite the inrush for 6 strings of C9s. Man, it is freezing out here. Whew.
Not for me. I hear something. I hope it's not a skunk. I should have put the other street light on.
I got to get a longer pole. I think I want to go. Let's see. Should we go up to the top? Should we go down behind it? I guess we should go up the top a little bit more. Actually, I gotta get a whole nother string of lights. Okay, I got another string. And this will be the last string we put on here. It's enough. 4 strings. So we'll connect this string on this other part. Oh no. Really? Oh, this is not going the right way. This has to go like this. No, this is not working very well. Why is it not letting go of the lights? The hook must not be the right shape. I'll have to fix it.
There 100% is a skunk or something roaming over there. Could just be a rabbit or something harmless like that, but it could be a skunk.
That looks excellent. That's the best that's ever come out. All right, I'm calling it for today. It's too cold. We're back at it tomorrow.